Welcome to the Badass Breastfeeding Podcast. This is Dianne, your lactation consultant and mother of 3. I have 25-year-old Nathan and twins Jessica and Brandon, who are 23, and they were all 3 breastfed for a while, and I remind them of that all the time. So
you have to.
You do
know where you came from. And I'm Abby, the badass breastfeeder. And I'm mom to Jack and Exley. And I don't remind them enough that they were breastfed, and I should. Even though they were both breastfed long enough to remember even.
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah, it's not, contrary to popular belief, they're not freaked out by it. They're just like, yeah, whatever. Like it's just their experience. So
I think my kids think everybody does it.
Yeah.
I think that's because I was actually, this came up yesterday. I was at breakfast with my sisters and my mom, because it was my mom's birthday.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister was saying that her daughter needs a hearing aid. She's like 25 or something. Oh. And because she had scarlet fever when she was a baby, and it damaged her hearing in one ear.
Oh.
So I know, it's so sad. So I was telling my daughter that, and I said, I'm so glad you guys had human milk. Because it keeps them healthy.
Yeah.
It just keeps them healthy. And she was like, Aunt Marcia didn't breastfeed? And I'm like, no. She's like, she didn't?
Yeah.
Like, no, she didn't. So they just think everybody did it. And I'm like, no, not everybody had that benefit. They just don't.
Yeah. And there's my sister wasn't breastfed, but my mom, they were telling my mom when she was born, the doctors were like she wouldn't latch. And, they were just like, well, some babies just don't breastfeed.
They still say that.
Yeah. And my mom was just like, oh, she thought it was kind of wrong, but she also she didn't know. And there was no one there helping her. And my sister was born C-section, and I don't my dad tells the story about how because there's the curtain, I mean, I don't know if this is anymore, but there's a curtain. My mom couldn't see what was happening. I guess maybe that's freaky to see this situation happening. But my dad was like, oh my God, he kept going over to the other side of the curtain watching and then coming back to my mom's face and telling her, giving her a play-by-play. He thought it was insanely amazing. But when it was time to get her out, the doctor was grabbing for her arms and her feet, and she just kept slipping. He couldn't get a good grip on her, which I'm like, haven't they figured this out? But so what he did was he put his thumb in her mouth, and then lifted her up by her head.
Oh my God.
To get her out. So, I don't know. What is that? Maybe that makes her feel weird in her mouth for a while. I don't know. So anyway, yeah, there was just nobody there to help her. And everything changes. It's so different.
Mm-hmm.
It's different than it was.
So
but
different.
Now it's more, now, especially if you live in a house where people breastfeed, it's you live in a house doing anything, you think it's normal.
Right. Yeah.
You just that's normal. And then you go to other people's houses. I was just talking to Exley about this morning, about how different families can be. We talk about how different cultures can be and different, whatever, but different families just from house to house, it's their own countries, with just so different. Anyway, I'm really rambling here.
No, that's a really good point, because it really is very different from place to place.
Yeah.
Even within the same family.
Yes. Yeah. And that's also what we were saying, because we were talking about Josh's stepfather had visited a couple months ago or whatever. And that's somebody Josh was raised by. And still their family is so different from our family. And yeah, it's wild.
It is. It really is. You can learn a lot from watching other people.
Yes. Watching other people is so fun.
I know. It really is.
So yeah, that was a long story about me, but our episode today is brought to you by Nursing Queen. Nursing Queen is back, y'all. And we are very excited. Yes. We just love Nursing Queen and all their clothes. And also, I did a review. Diane and I got a bunch of clothes. And I wrote a review on the badassbreastfeeder.com with like pictures. I put my like height and weight on there. Yes, I did publicly put my height and my weight. And I feel like that's very brave of me.
It is. I don't even know my weight.
I do because I'm still on Ozempic. Remember, everybody?
Oh, yeah.
I'm still doing that. So I have not lost all of that I want to lose, but I do. First of all, my knees feel better, which was the whole point. They don't feel all the way better. So this is the information I was seeking. Like, will they feel better if I lose some weight, or will they not? Because I feel like that's the information I need in order to go back to my surgeon. Anyway, so I know how much I weigh because I have to go there once a month and they do the whole thing. But I put that on there and pictures of myself in the clothes so that you can kind of see like, okay, well, this fits her this way. And I'd like it to be a little bit, smaller, or we're similar, or, you can tell. I feel like you can tell better.
Yeah, for sure.
I like when I go, like when I'm shopping, I always go to the reviews and I'm like, where's the girl with the big butt? Find the girl. I'm like looking for pictures, like, where's my booty girls? Come on, booty girls. So I can see like, what size did you buy? Because then I'm going to need the similar size. So yeah, you got to check that out. The badassbreastfeeder.com. You can see the stuff. And they also have a bunch of new stuff. And we'll get into that a little later too. But it's also brought to you today by Original Sprout. And Original Sprout is another one of these companies that we just love so much. And we have started a big old business campaign with them where we're going to be bringing you new things every week. It's going to be so fun. And the first thing, yes, new specials every week.
Just for you guys too. Yeah.
Just for Badass. And you'll know because it's a Badass code, Badass 26 this week. If you get their Miracle Detangler, which if you have kids with hair, you need it. Or if you yourself have hair, get some Miracle Detangler because it helps. And the gift, you're going to get a gift with your purchase this week. If you buy the Miracle Detangler, you get the Miracle Detangling Brush, which will help get those tangles out.
I wish I had that when my daughter was young.
I know.
She always had long hair, and it was always a mess. Ugh.
Seriously, Jack right now is rocking some serious like long hair, and I love it because he's such a little like punk ass motherfucker. Like he is like I just like wish I was as cool as him when I was a teenager. He's into like I've gotten him to like all this music, and he was like, because we went to Green Day concert, we went to the Offspring. He loves all this like punk music. He started to listen to like Bad Religion. He was like, God. Oh yeah, I'm listening to Bad Religion. I'm like, you're cooler than me. Like, why? You're like so cool. And he's got this long hair, and he like whatever. Anyway, but I have to get him some of this Miracle Detangler because it bums him out sometimes when he's like, my hair. Yeah. And actually has that super curly hair. Anyway, so you're going to get the Miracle Detangler. Use code Badass26, and then you'll get the brush for free along with your Miracle Detangler. So, also, moving right along, speeding right along. Where's my paper? Whatever, I should memorize this by now. We are on Patreon. Patreon is home of our Revolution Parenting podcast. That is the only place in the entire world where you can find Revolution Parenting. And we are talking about everything from parenting styles, discipline, sleep, all of the things about parenting beyond breastfeeding, into the realm of just parenting in general. And we hope that you join us there. We would love to see you over there supporting our podcast. We realize Patreon does cost money. So a little bit of bucks per month would support the podcast over here and over there. And you can head to the link in the top of the show notes under this episode, wherever you're listening from. Click that link and choose a tier that is good for you. You can also go over to badassbreastfeedingpodcast.com. You'll find our sponsor page. You'll find all of our other episodes. You'll find information about Patreon. And while you're there, scroll down and enter your email address, and we'll send episodes straight to your inbox every week. But also make sure you do it because some of the exclusives that are coming from Original Sprout are going to be email exclusives only. So get on that. We're also still hosting our ongoing giveaway for people who leave reviews around the internet, especially iTunes. We really need more iTunes reviews, please. And thank you so much. We will send you a goodie bag in exchange for your review, podcast stickers, and thank you for nursing in public cards. Leave a review, take a screenshot, send it to badassbreastfeedingpodcast@gmail.com. And then also, if you have breastfeeding photos and you don't mind me sharing them on social media, because I don't have my own anymore, that would be weird. Although I could share the old ones. Anyway, also send your breastfeeding photo and we'll send you a goodie bag for that too. All right, moving right along.
I have your review.
Oh, yes. Review of the week.
Review of the week is, in a world where women get so much incorrect information about their bodies and misleading messages, it's refreshing to have these two ladies give us a straight answer. You might get offended if you are clinging to false information and don't like sarcasm. If you have an open mind and a sense of humor, you will love this. If you can, start listening before you have a baby. This person gets us.
Seriously.
Oh. Thank you so much for putting it out there like that.
I feel so seen.
People complain. I know. We have had people complain about like sometimes the things that we say, and it's like, we're just giving it to you straight. That's all.
It's also evidence-based information supported by real science.
Mm-hmm.
So like, don't get mad at us.
I know. We're just the messengers.
I know. I'm just like telling you what's happening. It's not like, anyway, that did give us our favorite shirt, which you can get a 2-star review. Somewhat informational, somewhat horribly offensive.
Oh, that was the best review ever.
We should just make stickers with that and put that in the goodie bag.
Oh, I know. We should.
Because that's just fun. It's so fun. It's like my really dream review. I was like, oh my God, somebody said it. I love it.
So good. So good.
All right. We're going to talk about weaning from the pump today. We promise.
Yes, we promise. But we did have a couple of good questions come in.
We do have some great questions.
Share that. Yeah, we thought we would share those too.
Let me see. I had them. Here we go. Okay. I unfortunately may need a hysterectomy in the near future. I have endometriosis and adenomyosis. My daughter is 16 months and is still breastfeeding. I asked my local lactation consultant if I would still be able to breastfeed without a uterus. She told me that since I'm so far into my breastfeeding journey, it shouldn't affect my milk supply. She did also mention that just having any type of surgery might shock my system for a little bit, but overall, I shouldn't worry. I was quite surprised. Is this true? Oh, I wanted to add that there may be a possibility that my last remaining ovary might need to be removed along with the hysterectomy. It all depends if it is also diseased and what my specialist recommends to have full relief. I won't really know until my appointment at the end of March. I'm going to try not to stress how I want to. Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to try to stress how I want to continue to breastfeed. So we'll her hysterectomy affect breastfeeding?
No, it shouldn't. The hormones that drive lactation come from the pituitary. So it's not coming from the uterus. So she shouldn't have, so she shouldn't have a problem. It's so unfortunate though. I'm so sorry that you have to go through that.
Yeah. And having that
That's
major surgery.
That's really stressful. But yes, you can still breastfeed. And as soon as you wake up, if you want to breastfeed, you can breastfeed. You don't have to wait or pump and dump from the anesthesia or anything like that. They might have you on some medications, which, if you have questions about it, you can always email us. But you should be able to still breastfeed without a problem.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So here's another question. Thank you for all the hard work that you do to provide valuable information for breastfeeding mothers out there like me. I am a first-time mom. I've made it 16 months breastfeeding my little guy so far. He doesn't seem to want to stop anytime soon, but I love the connection it gives us. I'm curious if you have any episodes about periods returning. I haven't gotten one yet, but I'm still feeding him through the night. My husband and I are starting to try for baby number 2, but I'm worried I won't be able to conceive until my period comes back or the night feed slowed down. How long should I go without one until I should talk to a professional? Any insight or direction to an episode you've done in the past would be greatly appreciated.
I think we have done episodes on this, but I don't think it's been like only that. I think they're mixed in with other things. I think we've talked about it.
I think it's been a while, but we've done them. The problem with them is it's just like the answer is everybody's different.
Yeah,
right?
That's
it's like hard to talk for 30 minutes about it. Although we should have maybe done it today because it wouldn't take so long.
So yeah, you definitely can't conceive again until you get your period back. But until you ovulate, and you haven't ovulated yet because you don't have your period. So you could ovulate at any time and get pregnant without getting your period. That's something that can happen, but it sounds like you haven't ovulated yet. So yeah, everybody's different. Like Abby said, it can really, and if you can talk to your provider about it, but they're likely going to tell you to wean. So you can, depending on how you feel about it, you can wait until your little guy slows down, or you could start night weaning him and see if that helps for your period to come back.
But really, I think
it's a situation.
It's just like, this is your body, right? Like your body is just, your period will come back when your body is ready for your period to come back. There's nothing wrong. You don't need to seek help from a professional. It's just, this is how your body is right now.
Yeah.
And it'll come back when it's ready, and then you'll get pregnant.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we should do another episode on that.
Yeah, we should
update that
on the list.
All right, weaning from the pump.
Yes, this came from a question or something, I think, but somehow,
I can't find it.
Abby was looking. I know Abby can't find it, but she was looking for a weaning from the pump episode and was like, "Oh my god, it's been a really long time since we did this." So we decided to do one again, because people wean from the pump for different reasons. Usually, and I just had this come up this week. Actually, I had a former client that texted me and was like, "All right, my baby's going to be a year in May. How do I stop pumping? I pump 3 days a week at work. How do I stop doing that?" That's usually when weaning from the pump comes up, because people are getting to their goal and they want to stop pumping, but maybe still breastfeed. Because she even said that. She's like, is this going to interrupt my breastfeeding if I just stop pumping? The answer to that is no. So if you are worried about stopping pumping because you want to keep breastfeeding, you don't have to continue to pump because you want to still breastfeed. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. I think, right?
Yeah.
In my brain, it makes sense. So the things that you can do, like if you get to the point where you are like, all right, I'm done with this pumping jazz, I'm over it. All you really need to do is you need to really consider how long you're pumping for. That's the first thing. Are you pumping for 20 minutes? Are you pumping for 15 minutes? How long do you pump for? And if you're pumping for, 15, 20 minutes, whatever, then we want you to kind of scale back from that. We need to slowly wean back from pumping. So if you are somebody who you're like, my goal is, say, a year, I want to continue to pump for a year so that my baby can have milk for a year while I'm at work. It's going to take you depending on how much you pump, it can take you a few weeks to get this completed because it's a process, really. You can't just stop. And it's just like when you wean from breastfeeding, you can't just like stop. Your body's going to be like, what is going on?
You're going to be making so much milk.
Yeah.
Your breasts are going to fill up. You can probably get clogged ducts, mastitis, all this.
Ugh,
like you still need to be removing some milk.
Yeah. So we definitely want to make sure that you're doing it like, the smart way and not doing it the quick way. So you want to start by taking away some of those pump sessions, or some of the time from those pump sessions. So if you're pumping for 20 minutes and you want to start, say, okay, start pumping for 5 minutes, not 5 minutes, take 5 minutes away. So start pumping for 15 minutes. Do that for 3 to 5 days. Then you maybe can take another 5 minutes off. Do that for like 3 to 5 days. You might get to the point where you're getting less and less milk. And that is the point. You want to be pumping less and less milk. So as you're pumping less and less milk, you can start to like maybe even condense those times. So maybe say you pump at 10 a.m. And this is hard too, because everybody's so different when it comes to pumping. But say you pump at 10 a.m., 1 p.m., and 3 p.m., right? So you're weaning down on pumping. Maybe you get to the point where you can just pump once a day. You've kind of got it weaned down where you can get to like 1 time a day in the middle of the day. And at noon, that's when you're pumping. You want to just be taking that time away from pumping so that your body is recognizing like, oh, we're taking this milk away, but you're leaving a little bit behind. That's why we're taking away like little bits of time, because you want to leave a little bit of that milk behind so that your body goes, oh, we're not using this milk. Let's stop producing it during this time frame. We're not pumping the milk right now. Let's stop doing this. So we're going to be stopping little bits at a time so that your body can adjust to that. Should we take a break? And then I'm going to talk about like things that you should need to watch for.
Sure. Let's talk about Original Sprout.
Yes.
Because we've got that deal going on with the Miracle Detangler this week. If you buy the Miracle Detangler, you'll get the free detangling brush. And this Miracle Detangler it's a miracle. It's lightweight. It can tame your frizz, help you get the knots out. It's got hydrating formula of calendula, cucumber, and rosemary, which helps repair hair, leaving it smooth and manageable. And it's a wonderful game changer for people who have kids who have long curly hair, or just any kind of hair that gets tangled and you need help with that. And it smells good, and we love Original Sprout, and you get a free brush. So how is that bad? Original Sprout, code BADASS26. You're going to go to originalsprout.com, use code BADASS26. When you buy the Miracle Detangler, they'll send you a free brush along with it. And Original Sprout is special. The company is special because they don't use the parabens and the phthalates and all of those harsh chemicals, and it's safe to use. You can spray this on your baby's head. Maybe your baby came out with a lot of hair,
Yeah.
It's safe to use. It's effective enough to use on your adult hair as well. So Badass26, originalsprout.com. We've also got Nursing Queen today. And I would love it if everyone would go over and check out the review that I did on thebadassbreastfeeder.com. I tried on a bunch of sweatshirts, a couple of sweatshirts that Dianne wanted that I pictures in. And it's like there's a dress, some jammies, and Nursing Queen is the unique thing about them is they're hidden zippers. So a lot of the sweatshirts have this horizontal hidden zipper that you can just unzip. You can unzip from both sides as well in order to double pump. Fantastic. And you can on other things where there's not the horizontal hidden zipper, there's the vertical hidden zippers on the side. And some of them have flaps. You can't tell that they're nursing clothes.
No, you can't.
That's why it is so cool. And we're still wearing these clothes. Like I cannot think of any other nursing clothes that I would still wear. Like these are just cool clothes. So head over to nursingqueen.com.
I wear mine all the time.
I know.
I do. I wear them all the time.
They're really cool. And they're so soft and they're really good quality. It's really good quality clothing. So head to nursingqueen.com and use code BADASS for 10% off of your purchase. And let's get back to weaning from the pump.
Weaning from the pump. Okay. So it is hard. Like if you are an exclusive pumper, this might be a really difficult thing too, because your whole existence with your breastfeeding baby, with your babies, giving them human milk, and you've been doing this for however long you've been exclusively pumping for, and it can really feel like an identity shift when you stop doing it. So just be kind to yourself. This is a process, and you'll get there. You will definitely get there, but it definitely is a process. So dropping one pump every 3 to 5 days. Shorten the sessions before you drop them. If you are an exclusive pumper, you want to take away those midday pumps first, like start working on one at a time. And you want to take away the middle ones first, like the ones during the daytime. Your early morning and your bedtime ones are going to be the last to go. So if you are, and also if you're an exclusive pumper, you may need to, your body might be more sensitive to the changes. So definitely you might need to be a little bit slower with that taper. Watch your output. That is what's telling us that it's okay to drop that pump session or to wean it down a little bit more if you're getting less and less milk, if you're pumping less and less milk, because you should be pumping less milk as the time goes on. So what you can also do, if you are feeling full in between, you can hand express for comfort, but just not fully emptying the breast. Just a little bit of release for comfort if you are feeling a little full in between. Cold compresses can be really helpful as well. Just like in the beginning, when your milk first comes in, we always say, use some ice on the breast if you're engorged. Same kind of idea. You're using those cold compresses on the breast. Make sure you're wearing a supportive bra, but nothing super tight. And you want to watch for plugged milk ducts. You want to watch for red, painful breasts, flu-like symptoms. That's mastitis, fever. Watch for those things, because if your body is kind of adjusting to releasing, adjusting to the difference of not pumping anymore, it's dealing with this milk supply being dry, kind of adjusting. You might end up with some plugged milk ducts. Now, a plugged milk duct does not equal mastitis. It can lead to it, yes. But just because you have a plugged milk duct, that does not mean you need antibiotics right away. The only time you need antibiotics is if you have a fever. with the plugged milk ducts, with the, and flu-like symptoms. That's the only time we need to worry about antibiotics. If you do get a plugged milk duct, you want to put some ice on that spot. You want to take some ibuprofen, some anti-inflammatories, and use some ice, and do not get crazy with the pumping again. Don't get, oh my God, I got to, pump this out. Just ice, ibuprofen, and that should help it. All it is swelling in the milk ducts. So we want to make sure that, and that is just from your adaptive change of weaning from the pump. So you can continue to breastfeed like you normally would, and just adapt your pumping to, to the weaning part, to the weaning off the pumping. Especially if you're a working parent, you're not pumping on the weekends or on your days off. Mm-hmm. So just breastfeed like you normally would. Your body is going to adapt to it. Believe it or not, it's really amazing how much your body adapts. You can continue to breastfeed even if you're not pumping anymore. You can still breastfeed. We just want you to get away from that pumping.
Yeah. I think that's the big question, right? It's like, if I stop pumping, am I still going to have enough milk to breastfeed? Mm-hmm. And like your body just learns. Your body just learns like, oh, it's the evening time. And this is when I need a lot of milk for some reason. For some reason, There's milk being taken out of my breasts, and your body just makes more there. Yeah. At that time. It's amazing.
It really is. I think the takeaways from this is that for one, that you can still breastfeed if you want to. Just because you're not pumping anymore does not mean you have to completely wean. And you want to do it slowly. It's a process. So you want to make sure that you are doing it slowly. You're taking some time away. You're dropping the pumpings. You're taking several days in between. It is definitely a process. So you want to make sure that you are doing it slowly so that your body can adapt. And you're watching for the changes. You're watching just to make sure you're not getting plugs. You're doing it correctly. You're not getting plugs. You're not getting mastitis. You're not feeling full and uncomfortable. You want to make sure that you are adapting your body the way it needs to. If you are, and any milk that you're getting, obviously just continue to give to the baby or continue to save it. Your baby can continue to get the milk well after they turn a year. If you're somebody who's like, okay, I wanted to breastfeed for however long, but at a year, I expect them to have like whole milk or whatever, you can just continue to give them your milk too. It doesn't have, just because it's like hit a year, you can put it in a sippy cup still and give it to them. It doesn't matter, because we have a lot of people that ask us about that. And you do not have to worry about, like stopping all of a sudden giving them your milk at a year. So just remember, it is a transition. It takes a little time. You're going to get through it. Congratulations if you're done. It does feel like, oh my gosh, this is weird to not pump, but congratulations to you, because you did a great job. And it's a lot.
Yeah. And I'm starting to remember now the email that was sent, and I'm looking, and I just cannot remember what I did with it. Usually I save it. Anyway, I remember this person was asking, like with the pumping, as we're pumping and we're having less milk, how are we dealing with that as far as like when a child goes to daycare and there's less breast milk? So like, if we're sending, let's say we're sending 10 ounces of breast milk a day, mm-hmm. and now we're not pumping that much anymore. We're starting to slow down. And so say we have 5 ounces of breast milk.
Okay.
Are we going to add 5 more ounces of, say, another kind of milk or water? And this is why I think this is another reason why when we're talking about pumping and weaning from a pump, we're often focused on this 1 year, like a 1 year situation, because before a year, your baby has to have 100% breast milk or formula, but you can't just start giving water or like almond milk to your 9-month-old baby. They need either breast milk or formula. That's going to have the nutrients in it that they need. So at a year, you don't have to be doing that now. You can start introducing other liquids.
Yes.
And so when you're sending this less breast milk, you start to wean from the pump. You're like, oh my God, it's a year. I just can't take it anymore. I'm going to wean, which is exactly what I would do. I would be like, 364 days is how long I would do it. And then everybody knows what I would do is I would take the pump outside with a bat and beat it to the
Smash
song,
it out.
Damn, It Feels Good to Be a Gangster, like in the movie Office Space.
But
so
yeah,
is that right? Would you switch it like 1-to-1? Like if there were 5 ounces of breast milk, would you send 5 ounces extra of some other liquid?
Yeah, okay. I would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And things change ultimately when they're a year anyway, because you're doing a little bit more solids. If your baby is taking more solids, we tend to, give a little bit more at a year, starting at around a year. They're doing a little bit more and they could be taking a little bit more solids. So maybe you want to make sure that they get a little bit more water or they're getting something more to drink. It's more of like, it's not just the bottles anymore. You're also adding other things in. So you do want to make sure that they're getting fluids as well. So if you're doing less breast milk, you do have to give them something else in place of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's it. And if you have questions, you can let us know.
Yes. If you have questions about this, send them to badassbreastfeedingpodcast@gmail.com. And don't be afraid to ask a question, because if you have a question after listening to this, it's likely that somebody else will as well. Mm-hmm. And we can take your question and anonymously read it on our next episode and answer the question.
Yeah, we don't mind doing that.
You're doing a service if you ask a question. And thanks for listening.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.